Welcome, welcome to another episode of Assembly of Excellence. I am your host for the evening. What's good, folks? What is good? Happy Thursday. Peace, blessings. Much love to all of you. I salute you. I don't know how your week has been, but I know it's been a very interesting one, full of different corridors and different doors and ups and downs, and you pretty much got the best of both worlds if you if you're not a robot and you feel and you experience. We're not going to pretend like life doesn't happen, even off the camera and on the camera. I want to welcome each and every single one of you, new, old, curious, passing by. I want to extend my gratitude and my appreciation to you. Everything is a work in progress, and I have a long way to go before I can make and give what my heart and my soul truly desires to this platform and to the people who come to me to hear my perspective, to hear my thoughts. Before we get into this live stream, because it's a very sensitive one, I want to give a shout out to my artists, my poets, my writers, my content creators, my confidants, my associates that I work with on various projects. You are a delight, a pleasure, a gem. You are a motivation. And I appreciate you. If no one else is going to give you credit or recognition or let you know that you matter, that your work is worthy, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to continue to do it as we grow over here on this platform for the foreseeable future, Lord willing. Now, this topic just came out. I wouldn't necessarily call it a topic. Human to human, soul to soul, American to American. I don't care if you're from the United States or you're from Europe. I don't care if you're from the other side of the world or on this end of the world. What we're about to speak on right now not only should mean something to you, but if you don't have any type of emotion towards this, I question just how human you are. When I get on and in front of these cameras, I often wonder what words I'm going to choose. Am I going to be too political? Am I going to be able to articulate myself without using a lot of foul language, without being extremely upset and angry? Will I be belligerent and ignorant? Will I conduct myself in the best light in terms of how I'm supposed to conduct these conversations, and I'm supposed to just address how I feel? Everyone has different ways to approach things that are concerning to them, different styles, techniques. Me, I just go with the flow. There's not really a script. I speak what's on my mind, and it is what it is at the end of the day. Whether or not anyone gravitates towards it, feels me, agrees with me is subjective. I really could care less. But when it's time for the lights to come on and it's time to speak on bull, we got to speak on it, and we got to speak on it all the way. I'm pretty sure you've heard of all the gossip and all the drama that's in your timeline on social media, the TikToks, the Reels, the OnlyFans models promoting their pages. I'm pretty sure that pops up a lot. Podcasts just often speak on these things. I'm pretty certain. But there's matters that kind of get swept under the rug. They don't get as much publicity as any other story if it's not regarding sex or something that's completely distracting and neutering to the brain and to the spirit and soul, then it's not really spoken on or magnified to the degree that it deserves to be. And that's where I come in.
Shit like that, bro.
I don't want to just talk about simple, basic things that we kind of just deal with all the time. I want to go into shit that breaks your heart, that makes you question yourself, it makes you question the people around you, it makes you wonder if you're a good person or a shitty person. I want to go there. I want people to swim to the bottom of the ocean and find itself. I don't like surface level stuff. And here we are, 2023, speaking on something that unfortunately is not the first or will probably be the last time that we get a breaking story like this. So let's go ahead and get into this. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not. I appreciate it very much. The case that we are bringing to the assembly today surrounds a 20-year military veteran by the name of Robert Cord of Maine. He is 40 years old. Um, I don't know much about where he lives, but from the information that I got from various news clips. His family, his neighbors, they all seem to live in a fairly nice location, own some land. Um, from the brief interviews that I've seen, and this is excluding the horrific part of it. Everyone seemed to have gotten along with him and his family. They all seem to be in fairly good places in terms of their lifestyle. Unfortunately, everything isn't always what it seems to be. As what we have here, and I'm going to read this to you so that you can get some context into the person that I'm speaking on, his background, and the story currently. I would suggest that you look it up for yourself to get more information as they continue to update us. But 40-year-old Robert Card is being charged with 8 counts of murder currently. 8 counts. 10 victims have been unidentified. The number that I was given prior to this was around 20. The official number has not come back yet. Mr. Card, prior to this incident, spent 2 weeks during the summer trying to get some mental health assistance. Prior to this date, he had aspirations to do other things. But what was interesting to me was what they said about him having shown signs of mental illness. The gentleman goes to 2 locations armed with an assault rifle. He goes to a bowling alley and he goes to a bar and grill. He shoots and brutally eliminates, as of right now, 8 people, 10 still yet to be identified. Okay. They go on further to say that this gentleman is still on the run. They have yet to find him. They've been to his home. They've spoken to his loved ones. They're trying to get information on his whereabouts. But as of right now, to my knowledge, they have not found any evidence. They have not even remotely come close to locating this individual. And they're saying, I guess it's common sense too that you should pretty much not try to be Superman and stop him yourself or get in his way, because let's face it, the man basically know his life is over after this. So he's going to do whatever he can to evade prison couple things that I want to say first. First, my thoughts and prayers to the family and the friends and the community in Maine. Whether you're Caucasian or you're African or you're Japanese, anytime you get news about someone being gunned down, especially in places where you think you'd be the most safe. I won't go that far with the whole bar thing. I'm not really someone who's ever really gone to the bar, so I can't really speak on that too much. But from bowling, what dangers really come from going to a bowling alley? Who goes to a bowling alley and expects someone to flip their shit, pull out an assault rifle, and start to spray and shoot? Mind you, he's already had 20 years of experience, so he knows how to carry a weapon. He knows how to use it. Lord knows what else he had going on. They said he had a mental thing going on that he was trying to get help with. Clearly, he didn't get the help. One thing they noted was that he said that he had voices in his head telling him to shoot and kill people. I can't remember verbatim where and what it was surrounded by, but he already showed signs that he was a danger or a possible danger. But now we're here. So he goes to multiple places to shoot, which means I have to question whether or not he was cognizant or he blacked out. No one can just concisely go to one spot, successfully shoot and kill multiple people, still find time to get into their vehicle and then go to another spot, do the exact same thing there, and then disappear. There's no way, there's no way someone could be that efficient and not be found, but still have some type of mental thing going on. Now there's a possible death toll of 18 to 20 people and maybe even more because they are still doing their tallying. They're still trying to figure out the names of these poor souls who are just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or maybe they weren't just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe it was just a unfortunate sequence of events, and they just happened to be there. He's on the run. They're trying to find him. They're trying to identify the victims. We need him to be brought to justice, whatever that means for you, and whatever that means for the court system. There's a few things that I want to address. that's interesting to me. One, how will this end? How will the family cope and move on after such a heinous act? How will they continue on how how will this affect the service? Two, will they catch him alive or will he shoot it out and force them to kill him? If he decides that he's going to just shoot it out, we know that's only going to end one way, unless they are fortunate enough to where they can wound him without actually killing him and bring him in. I don't see there being no other way of this coming to a halt. If they catch him and they arrest him, how will that affect the community? How will that affect social media? How would that change the minds of people who constantly see killing and death every day and hear about it every single day? Will that really do anything? What's going to happen if they successfully get him behind bars and they go to trial and he gets a lawyer and all of these things are put in place to make sure that he's never put on the street again? How would that end? Will there be justice or there be fuckery? Because we know the court system is not 100% legitimate. The laws bend and have loopholes that can benefit the suspect sometimes way more than the victim. We've seen it countless times. Him being in him being a veteran, serving the country, you telling me that's not gonna do something for him to keep him maybe from getting a full sentence, or maybe they give him a slap on the wrist and he doesn't get any time at all because the mental issue that he had or he has. We got somebody out here that's pretty much no different than a black man on the corner or someone that's in a hick town praising the KKK, hanging and shooting black people, or a black person shooting another black person, playing renegade bonanza out here, who can get to their holster first. The sad part about this is I can see the media trying to clean this up, trying to dress it nice and make it look like it's something that should kind of get a slight little tap. Oh, he served our country. He's probably traumatized. He probably has PTSD, and that's why he slaughtered and killed all of those innocent people who had absolutely nothing to do with anything revolving around his life. We should go easy on him. That's how the media will paint it. They're going to come from all different walks of life with different angles and answers from different interviewing different friends and neighbors about how good of a person he was or is. Oh, you got the wrong idea about him. He's not like that. He would never. It's something going wrong with him. We really just need to get him some help. That's all he really needs is some help. Yep, damn right he needs some help. He needs to be locked the fuck away.
Shit like that, bro.
You don't live in Maine, probably. Chances are none of you that are here right now lives anywhere near Maine. Guarantee if you heard on the news right now that somebody had did that and they were in your neighborhood, I think you would care a little bit more. I think you'd be way more alert and you'd want something done as soon as possible. I don't care about race. I don't care that it's a white man that's doing it. I don't care if it's a black man that's doing it. The fact of the matter is, these people are doing what they're doing and they have access to these types of weapons that give them a sense of power over folks who just want to live normal lives without fearing for their life. These people can't get their life back. They're gone. They're done. I don't know none of them. I don't know if they a bad life. I don't know what their relationship with God is. I don't know how their last conversations were with their loved ones. I don't know any of it. All I know is these people are no longer here with us. They once had a social security number. They grown and developed into adults, learned their first steps, learned their first words, learned how to write and read. All of them had birthdays. All of them had witnessed or felt or expressed love to someone, even their self. And they no longer have a voice. So now we have to be the voice for the voiceless. Whether or not you agree with their lifestyle or not, we have to speak up for them because they didn't have a choice in the matter. To the man, Mr. Card, wherever you are, my place, whether or not you go to hell or heaven is not my place to judge. Whether or not you get a death penalty, but is my do right to feel and want proper justice taking place here. And the only course of action I see reasonable is you to be off of the street. Never to walk the street again, quite frankly. The measures of how the punishment should be put out there is completely subjective. I don't think there's mental issues there, though I believe that demonic spirits can control and manipulate and influence a person. In this case, it's hard for me to rationalize someone being tactical enough to execute what they did and still evade authority. You can't be dumb or lack a sense of awareness to the point to where you can just oh, I accidentally got away. I accidentally avoided getting arrested for damn near who knows how long, maybe a day, maybe going on a day. There's no way you can just accidentally be so stupid and so mentally unstable to where you can't get caught. That takes us a lot of mental intellect to be able to pull something off like that. And with that being said, you get no leniency on my end in terms of what the judge should do with you. As far as I'm concerned, you're guilty, and I'm not a professional, so I can't diagnose you and say one way or another. But just given what I've seen and what I know, you got some stuff with you. You definitely got some demonic spirits with you. That part I know for sure. Now, as far as the medical side of it and what you saw while you were in the army and all that, could that play a role in what you just did? Some probably might argue that. I'm not. I refuse to even really entertain that idea whatsoever. You're no better than the guy living down the road from me or around the corner from me or on the job with me. You're no different than those people. See, here's the difference between me and everybody else, right? I don't care what your ethnic background is, wrong is wrong. And if you're damaging and destroying the community in any type of way because of your whatever you got going on, I'm gonna come up with a word for it. There's a word for people who decide to be destructive and bring hurt and pain and nothing but misery and chaos. For people like you and them, I have a real big disdain towards you because we didn't ask for this. We don't want it, but we're also to blame as well because we're not doing much to really alleviate the problems either. But that's where I'm at. We waiting, we're waiting, and I'm praying that they find them, that they get them off the street, that no one else has to lose their life. I'm praying for the souls of the people who actually did transition over. I'm praying for that community. I'm praying for that family. I'm praying for our country, for the folks who get online and speak all this high and mighty shit, self righteous, but when it comes to things like this, they kind of just avoid it because it's not going to bring them the gain that they need ultimately to get over. It's sad. It's very sad, man. And the screwed up part about it is, it's not like this is the first time or the last time we're going to hear something similar like this, is we I don't know, man. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't really even want to get it at all. We need to pray more, and we got to be more bold, and we got to be more present. Really, really present. Because the more and more we kind of shift away from God, exclude Him, not seek His face, the more and more we decide that we're just going to do things the way we want to do them, and that's just how it's going to be one way or another. The more the enemy is prone to do what he does to our people, the more access Satan has to us, the more opportunity he has to eliminate us piece by piece, person by person, in an endless cycle of hurt. I want to thank each and every single one of you for coming out. I didn't know exactly how this was going to be in terms of the extent of rage and anger I have, because you see it so often that it's just like, oh, it's just this. It ain't really, you kind of just, but you can't ignore this. If you ain't see the story or you haven't caught any wind of it, you should check this out, or at least send a prayer out for these people. Tomorrow we pulling back up. We going live again. I got something good for y'all, man. I'm definitely about to switch it up a little bit. I never try to stay in the same lane. You should know me by now. So this is gonna be a good one. It's Friday, Lord willing. I get to see one more. We all get to see one more. The debut of When All Else Fails premieres tomorrow night as well. So make sure you pull up, watch with me live. It's gonna be a good one. All of these artists, writers, they collabed, came together, and put on a prolific show. So, with that being said, this is Assembly of Excellence signing out. You guys, man, have a blessed one and see you tomorrow, Lord willing.
Shit like that, bro.